Cool. So now that all of our files are in place, let's go edit our Nginx configuration file. Let me refresh your memory. So if I cd .. up a folder, we want Nginx to serve up this folder, but currently it's serving up my site, right? That's what you see, welcome to our website. So to change that, here's what we're going to do. cd into /etc nginx. If you run an ls, remember, we want to dig into this sites available folder. So cd sites -available. If you run an ls, this is the site we're interested in, the my site. So run a nano on my site. And remember this basic bit of Nginx code we said? It's just serving up the static HTML file. Well, now we're ready to do two things. We want boilerplate code that's going to use PHP for this domain, but we also want to point towards that new, our app folder. In order to save a ton of typing, we're going to borrow code from the HTML templates folder that we've been borrowing code from. In that HTML templates folder, you'll see that there's a file named vps-nginx.txt. I want you to just select every single line of code in that file, copy it into your clipboard, and then back in your VPS, just use your arrow keys to go down to the very bottom, delete every single line of code in this file. We just want a completely empty file. This will take a minute. I should Google the select all feature in Nano, but this gets the job done. Anyways, just right click once it's empty and choose paste. Now, if we scroll up to the very top, I do need you to change this server name line. So instead of google.com, you would fill in your domain. So in my case, the first one, this would be learninglaravel.xyz, and then also www, your domain. So learninglaravel.xyz. Cool, but the idea is we're setting the root to, var www, our app, and then it's important, the /public folder, the Laravel public folder. Cool. Let's go ahead and save this. So Control X, Y for yes, hit enter for the file name. And now we just need to tell Nginx to use our new configurations. So we would say sudo systemctl reload Nginx. Go ahead and press enter. Cool. And now let's go edit our Laravel env file. So cd into /var www our app. Now in that folder, if you run an ls, yes, we have all of our Laravel files, but remember, back in VS Code, git ignore is ignoring certain files. You can see they're grayed out, and one of the files that we're ignoring is our .env file. This is because you might want to use wildly different values on your development machine from your production live server. So what I would do is just double click in VS Code on your host computer, go into your env file, select every single line into your clipboard and copy it. Back in your VPS, in our Laravel files, I'm just going to say touch.env, and then I'm going to nano.env, and then just right click and paste in your clipboard. And then let's make a few adjustments. So for app env at the top, I'm going to set this to production. I'm going to set app debug to false. I'm just going to delete this app URL line entirely. Let's also use our arrow keys to go down to the MySQL details. So yes, our database, I named it our Laravel app, but the user is not root, it's our app user, and then the password instead of root, I set QWERTY. Cool, let's go ahead and push Control X to save that. Y for yes, go ahead and press enter. With those MySQL details in place, we can now run, assuming you're in your Laravel directory, you can run php artisan migrate. It's going to ask you yes or no, type yes, press enter. Perfect, it created all of the tables in our blank database. And now in my web browser on my host computer, if I refresh learninglaravel.xyz, whoops, we probably should have left the debug set to true until we got it actually working, but I can let you know we're receiving this error message because our storage folder does not have correct permissions. So back in our VPS, I would just say chown -r www-data:/www-data storage, right? The storage folder in the Laravel folder. And then also let's run a php artisan storage:/link. Cool. Now back in my domain, if I refresh, beautiful. Now that's going to bring this lesson to a close, but in our very next lesson, we're going to take care of all sorts of miscellaneous details. We're going to make sure that our user avatar file upload works. We'll start using Redis for cache. We'll set up our cron jobs for queue and schedule. And most importantly, we'll add HTTPS encryption support and more. Let's keep our momentum rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.